Hello, Rama Pupoda. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a happy and peaceful life. Now let's continue with devotee Papaji. Feeling disheartened, he returned home, but the fire within him was still burning. He fed sadhus who came home and posed to them these burning questions. One day, a sadhu knocked on his door. The sadhu was received with respect by Papaji and fed well. When asked the usual questions, the sadhu smilingly replied, I can show you a Swami who can answer your questions. Papaji immediately asked, Where is he? What is his name? The sadhu answered, His name is Ramana Maharishi and he is in Arunachala in an ashram called Ramana Ashram. The sadhu gave him directions on how to reach the ashram. Papaji was elated that he was at last going to meet a Swami who would show him the way to God. At that time, Papaji was very poor. One day, while scanning the newspaper, he saw an advertisement for the post of a manager in a military canteen in Chennai. Papaji was the right person for the post. When he went for the interview, he was told, You do not have to join immediately. We will pay you your travel expenses now. You can join after a month. Just see how when the self chooses makes way for everything. Papaji was already 34 years old when he reached Chennai in 1944. He was excited and eager to see the Swami who would answer his burning questions and show him God. At Ramana Ashramam, he left his baggage in the dormitory and went to the old hall where they said the Swami was seated. He peeped through the window and was totally disappointed and embittered by what he saw. He told himself, the same sadhu who came to Punjab is seated here. He gave me his own name and address and is now seated on the sofa. He is a cheat. I will not stay here even for a minute. Such was his anger. Fuming and frustrated, Papaji ran back to the dormitory and picked up his baggage hurriedly in order to leave. However, an old devotee, Fremji Dorabji, told him, You have not stayed even for an hour. Why are you going back when you have come from such a distance? Papaji narrated what he had seen and concluded, This Swami is a cheat. He gave me his own name and address and said that he would show me God. I know he is a cheat. I know it. Fremji said in a troubled voice, There is some mistake here. Bhagavan has not left Arunachala for 48 years. Papaji continued to fume, but Fremji Dorabji induced him to have lunch in the ashram and partake of Bhagavan's prasad. After having his lunch, Bhagavan used to retire to the old hall. People were told not to disturb the Maharishi between 12 and 2. Papaji attempted to follow the Maharishi, but Krishna Swami, the attendant, prevented him from doing so. Bhagavan, who was already in the hall, told Krishna Swami, Allow him to come inside. Papaji recounts what happened next. I approached the Swami in a belligerent manner. I asked him, Aren't you the man that came to see me in my house in Punjab? The Maharishi remained silent. I repeated, Did you not come to my house and tell me to come here? Again, the Maharishi made no answer. Since he was most unwilling to answer, I moved on to the main purpose of my visit. I asked him the questions that I had come to ask. Have you seen God? And if you have, can you help me see God? I am willing to pay any price for the answer, even give my life. But your part of the bargain is that you must show me God. The Swami answered, No, I cannot show you God. I cannot help you see God because God is not an object that can be seen. God is the subject. He is the seer. Do not concern yourself with the objects that can be seen. Find out who the seer is. He then added, You alone are God. He then told me to find out more about this. I, that is so desirous of seeing God. After he concluded, he looked deep into my eyes in such a way that my entire body began to tremble. I felt a shiver running through every inch of my body. My hair stood on end. Such was the intensity. Believe me, I became aware of the spiritual heart. What I am referring to is not the physical heart, but the heart that is the source and support of all that exists. This heart opened up and blossomed in the Maharishi's presence. I have never had such an extraordinary experience before. I had not come in looking for any kind of experience, so when it happened, it took me by total surprise. However, even this experience did not convince Papaji for long. He still yearned to see God physically despite this spiritual experience. In his own words, I did not want to be honey. I wanted to taste honey. So he left Ramana Ashramam and went to Adi Annamalai on the other side of the hill. There he played with Lord Krishna till he had to go back to Chennai to join duty. Out of respect for an elderly man, he went to Ramana Ashramam to take leave. Now, look at the beauty of the relationship between master and disciple. When Papaji went before Bhagavan, he was asked, Where have you been? Where have you been staying? It was very unusual for Bhagavan to ask such question. Papaji replied, On the other side of the mountain. And what were you doing there? Continued Bhagavan. I was playing with my god Krishna, replied Papaji smugly. Papaji replied confidently in a proud and superior manner because he was convinced that the man he was talking to would never had such an experience. Let's continue in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Puppot.